And we are live. This will be another edition of DT Live today, Saturday, June 16th. The day before Father's Day here in the U.S. Tomorrow, Sunday, June 17th, Father's Day. I still need to get Dad a gift. Might have to, as soon as this stream is over, go purchase something. I'm going to get together with my father tomorrow for lunch. First things first, you guys are seeing me in Zoom. Zoom is a video chat client. Uh-oh. First things first, you guys are seeing me in Hold on just a second. Uh-oh. First things first.
Hi, everyone.
All right. First, mute your desktop audio.
Hi, everyone.
All right. First, mute your desktop audio.
It's not desktop. It's
the YouTube video.
The stream. Let me turn my Bluetooth on so I can separate it off of my Chromebook.
Yeah, everything sounds good now. And because there's a delay in the stream, if you're also listening to the stream and then on the video chat, there's going to be this weird, echo.
Okay.
All right. And of course, I'm playing around in Zoom today, so mainly what I wanted was some folks to join the chat so I could play around with my OBS overlays and figure out how I wanted to arrange this window and crop this window if I end up using Zoom on a regular basis. The only reason I know about Zoom is the Big Daddy Linux podcast every Saturday night. Those guys use Zoom, so I usually join their podcast every Saturday night. They use Zoom. Most of the other Linux channels out there, if they do any kind of video chat and I join them, a lot of those guys tend to use Google Hangouts. I know Toss, Total OS today, he loves Hangouts. Switch to Linux, I think, sometimes does stuff with Hangouts. Neither Zoom or Hangouts, of course, is false. They're not free and open source, but they work. I kind of like Zoom a little better when I use Zoom because it doesn't require a browser. Google Hangouts, of course, requires you to use either Google Chrome or Chromium or some other, browser that uses that engine. Firefox does not work with Hangouts, and that's a problem because I use Firefox. So I actually have to keep an installation of Chromium around just for using Hangouts sometimes when people ask me to join them on Hangouts. Anyway, Gray has root. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
All right.
I'm on the downside of a vacation, but that's all right. Still got a few days left to enjoy.
Very cool.
Did I get the sound going right?
Yeah, your sound is fine.
Okay,
yeah, you don't have
my Chromebook and threw it through my TV, so there wasn't conflict with the mic and the speaker.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So far as a Chrome app on a Samsung Chromebook, this is running beautiful. No lag in the video.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great.
It does look great. It looks better usually than what it looks in Hangouts. That's another thing. The video quality in Hangouts sometimes is kind of bad.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to try this out today. What are you running, Gray? You run a Linux or you running Windows or?
Oh, never Windows. Never.
Okay.
I'm a sworn Debian man. I've got Debian or some variation of Debian on everything I've got. For my main machine, I'm running Crunchbang++, but I'm tracking testing.
Nice.
So,
okay. Yeah, because Crunchbang++, they use stable. They use the stable branch, yeah.
Right, which is great, but I mean, I just want some of the newer things. I did jump to unstable to get the new version of Chromium and also for the new GIMP 2.10. So that's in the stable or unstable, the SID repositories of Debian. But yeah, everything else, like I said, it's a variation of Debian of some form or another. My NAS is Open Media Vault. My media centers are XBN. So.
And you said you had a Chromebook?
Yeah. This is the only thing that's, not Linux, but it's still core.
Well, I don't blame you for having a Chromebook around. I don't own one myself, but I have looked at them before. I mean, they work for what they are.
Right. I use it for just quick browsing. I'll also cast it through my PlayStation 4 into my TV.
Yeah.
So that's about what it's good for. Other than that, I won't do nothing serious or whatever on it. It's pretty limited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's anything pretty much has to take place in the browser. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, I'm playing around with OBS here today, and I'm not exactly sure how I want to capture this window. So that's one thing I'm going to play around with here today. As far as, any particular topic you guys want to chat about, I created a let's chat about our favorite Linux distros. I just threw that out there for something easy to talk about. As far as favorite Linux distros, you guys know have been running Manjaro on my main production machine here on the channel, and I review a lot of Arch-based Linux distributions. So, pretty big Arch fan. Before starting this channel and going through all these Arch distros, big Debian fan. Love Debian stable. That's kind of what I would live on all the time if I didn't do this channel. I like stable distros that when you update, they never break. So Debian stable's great. The Ubuntu LTS releases, which are based on Debian stable, they're great. And I have thought about hopping. I've been playing around with Manjaro for a little while here. And I said I wasn't going to hop, but you know what? I've kind of been getting that itch to hop here lately. And I'm not sure. I might go back to the Debian world for a little while. Maybe do something like Debian Sid. Or maybe a distro based on Sid, maybe Seduction. And live in Debian Unstable for a little while. See how that works out for me. Because Arch, for a rolling release, Arch, I mean, things break, but it's not that bad. I never have major breakages. But Debian Unstable, every time I've tried it in the past, I've had some issues with it. But I might want to give it a go on my main production machine for a little while. See how it goes. I've always found Arch and Arch-based distros and Gentoo and Gentoo-based distros pretty stable for the most part. Mainly because everybody that runs Arch and everybody that runs Gentoo is running the rolling release branch of those distros because the rolling release branch is the only branch. Where in Debian, everybody's running stable, for the most part. Yeah.
Well, even unstable, while testing, I mean, Buster and Debian still pretty stable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arch is good. I'm just always stuck on Debian, so I just never get comfortable in it. But yeah, as far as everything I've seen, great distro. Yeah. Great stems off of it.
Yeah. And like I said, I was always a Debian guy. What really impresses me about Arch and why I've kind of stuck with it here for this channel is software. Any software I need, anything that I want to take a look at, on my channel or anything, it's in the Arch repos or it's in the AUR, the Arch user repository. I never have to compile anything from source. Never have to go, look for some package on GitHub and have to build it from source. The way you sometimes have to do in something like Debian. So the software availability is really the high point of Arch. Right. It's kind of what separates it, I guess, from every other distro.
And Debian even recommend compiling from source. If it's not in the repos, they don't want you to dirty up their system.
Right. And when you start building stuff from source, you always run into dependency problems. The stuff you're trying to build is missing dependencies. Then you have to find that stuff. Hopefully those dependencies are in the repos. If they're not, then you have to build them from source. And you get this just chain of events that sometimes can take you an hour to get this one program compiled. And I just hate that.
Right. Oh, even trying to play with two different repos on a distro, like going with like Stretch or Buster at the same time, it's going to cause a little issues.
Yeah, I never like changing repos on a distro because you can run into some dependency hell when you start installing stuff from different repos.
Yeah, you can pick and choose a little bit, but you got to be careful. You got to really be careful what you're doing. Like I said, I pulled a few of the newer apps like GIMP from Unstable. Just got to make sure you're clean and everything's going well before you hit the enter button.
No. So you went ahead and pulled down GIMP 2.10 from
Yes.
Sid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I play around in GIMP a lot. A lot of the artwork and stuff I do on the channel, the thumbnails and stuff, I create all those in GIMP. I'm not, that artistic, but I can play around in GIMP a little bit, and the new 2.10 version is really nice. Just the whole user interface of it is much nicer than the old version.
Yes, I agree. I
And,
agree.
and
I
I
don't.
used to, yeah, I used to use all the, various floating windows, that whole layout that I kind of got used to back when that's the only layout they offered. But I've recently switched to the one window layout, kind of more Photoshop-like. And to be honest, that's such a better layout. So I think I'm just going to stick to that these days. Instead of having,
I'm more of a fan of the single window too. I mean, if you're
yeah,
jumping around with different windows and stuff like that, you've always got one of the GIMP windows in your way. And so, yeah, it's just a lot simpler with the single window.
yeah. And these days, playing around with tiling window managers, having 5 different GIMP windows open can really cause some problems. But now, if it's just one window, there's no problem. So, all right, and we've got a lot of folks in the chat. Sorry, guys. Probably going to have to ignore most of the chat, of course, chatting with people on camera today. Any of you guys that want to join us on Zoom, I did put the link in the show description here. You guys can join me and Gray, and it'd be nice to get a few people here on the Zoom window here, so I can play around with it here in OBS. How long have you been using Linux, Gray?
Ooh, probably about 7 years now.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. No, how did you get into it? What prompted you to make the switch?
politics.
Politics? Okay.
So I'm really big anti-capitalist and things like that. So that led me to the free software philosophies, and
Right.
I'm pretty cool with a lot of that. But I think a lot of community out there in the real world should latch on to the philosophies and some of the ways that the open source community works. So.
Very cool. Yeah, I've mentioned a few times on my channel, people often ask me why I switched. I made the switch full time into Linux. I've been using Linux dating back probably to like the late 90s, early 2000s, playing around with stuff as far as websites and web servers, but actually putting it on my desktop and leaving Windows behind forever was about 2008, 2009. And I had a machine that was taken over by ransomware running Windows XP. And it just annoyed the crap out of me so much. I was so frustrated with it that I just swore off Windows because of the security issues. I mean, you just can't have any kind of security on that thing. I know people are going to say, well, if you run antivirus and throw up this firewall and this and that, you can really lock it down. But you know what? Linux is so much more secure. I mean, I can run antivirus and run a firewall in Linux, but even without all that stuff, I've never had my machine hacked or taken over, by some kind of malicious program. So I made that switch for me about 10 years ago, and I've never looked back. I've never bought a machine with Windows on it since. So if it wasn't for the security issues, I might still be running Windows. I don't know. But that just soured my whole opinion of Microsoft, because this guy, he installed some kind of ransomware on my machine where I would open up a program, any program, it didn't matter what it was, and I'd get this pop-up saying, your machine is infected. We have the cure for this virus. If you pay us $20, $50, whatever it was, we'll give you, the fix to the problem. Of course, the fix is he's just going to remove the virus he put on my computer anyways. Hopefully. I was like, yeah, I'm not paying you any money. I formatted the drive, put Ubuntu on it. So that was, yeah.
Yeah, Ubuntu was the first one I started with. I believe it was the 10.04. And what got me there was through Free Geeks in Chicago. I was low on cash, and they had a program where if you came in and donated 24 hours of your time, you got $100 towards a computer, whether desktop or laptop, whatever they had in store. And what Free Geek does is they take and repurpose old machines. They'll down, throw Linux on it, and then offer them for a discount, or in some cases, community events or community groups. Really, really excellent organization. I think it started off on the West Coast. But I went in, did a little bit of tearing down machines, stuff like that. Got a little hands-on learning for that. Did the 24 hours, got my discount, and got a nice old IBM with Ubuntu on it. Quickly got rid of Ubuntu though. It felt so Windowsy to me.
Yeah.
So,
And that was was it still on the GNOME 2 desktop, or was it already on Unity?
Yeah. It was still GNOME 2.
Yeah. I never liked the GNOME 2 desktop. When I switched to Ubuntu, that was, around the 804 series, the Hardy Heron LTS, and I really liked it. I mean, it was very fast. It was so much faster than Windows. I was just blown away by the speed. But that old GNOME 2 desktop environment that everybody else loved, I didn't like it that much. I actually started hopping around to different desktop environments and window managers pretty early in my Linux career, I guess. I got onto OpenBox, I don't know, probably within 6 months after giving Linux a try on my desktop, because I just found GNOME and KDE not to my liking. And that seemed to be, back then, that was really the two choices. That's the only thing people talked about was GNOME and KDE. Now we have so many more desktop environments. Mainly because GNOME and KDE ruined their desktop environments. When KDE went from KDE 3 to KDE 4, everybody hated it. And then when GNOME went from GNOME 2 to GNOME 3, everybody hated that. So we got so many more desktops now. All the forks and stuff from GNOME. You had Unity grow out of that, Cinnamon, Monte, Budgie, Pantheon. The list goes on.
Right. I don't think I necessarily hated GNOME 2. Ubuntu their philosophies were starting to get a little Microsofty. I think I didn't hate it because it was kind of comfortable switching from Windows over to Linux. It wasn't a big jump like going from Windows over to like OpenBox or i3 or something like that. So it made the transition a little smooth. It was cool because you could customize to get that bar off the bottom, put the panel on the top, and I liked it. Yeah, it was probably about 6 months I discovered Crunchbang, and right there I fell in love, and that's what brought me to in and really caused me to get into that.
Crunchbang was one of my favorite distros when I was first getting started. Crunchbang, unfortunately, I guess they got started about the time I was getting into Linux, but they were only around 3 or 4 years. I think 2011, 2012 was when I guess that project shut down. I'd have to look it up, but they were around for.
No, but almost maybe.
Yeah. I know they were around about 5 years or so. It seemed like, and then they became very popular. I mean, they ranked pretty highly in the DistroWatch page hit rankings. They got a lot of good press, and I guess the main dev of that project just got burnt out, tired, or whatever. Right. And that was unfortunate. But you got some forks, some spin-offs of it. Bunsen Labs. Yeah, Bunsen Labs grew out of that. Crunchbang Plus grew out of that. And then you had a million, even though they're not based on Crunchbang, but all the Arch distros that wanted to create that Crunchbang-like experience, like Archbang, Arch Labs, and all that. So.
Yeah, that just shows the popularity of it. I mean, it was a great philosophy. I mean, so get out of the way, let me do what I want to do, and have a machine the way I want it. So, I mean, beautiful.
Well, it was really the first distro that used like a minimal window manager like OpenBox, but presented it in a way that, it was usable out of the box. You had a real desktop experience, and you didn't have to be some kind of programmer. You didn't have to be some sysadmin to set everything up. Out of the box, everything just worked.
Yeah, I don't have much experience before that, but just the post install script, that was great, and I'm seeing that on a lot of different machines now, or a lot of different distros.
And just checking out the chat here, somebody's mentioned that the audio is crunchy. I have noticed your audio is a little funny, Gray. You guys that are listening to my audio, how does it sound on the stream? One thing with Zoom, let me change the window here. I'm going to actually try to pull up my settings here. Give me just a second. Let's see if I can find them. the audio settings.
Yeah, there's not much mixing I could do with a
Yeah.
Chromebook.
I was trying
It
to
could be
find.
my voice. I'm a heavy smoker, so I get crackly a little bit too.
No, it's a problem with the mic. There is a setting somewhere on Zoom. I've had this problem before. It's like a setting that it auto adjusts your mic volume depending on what's going on. Like it tries to detect whether you're speaking or not. If that thing is ticked on by default, tick that off. It'll actually improve the sound quite a bit. I'm actually trying to see where that is here in the settings, and I can't find it. Okay. So here, automatically adjust microphone. See how that's ticked off? It might be ticked on by default, but you guys that use Zoom, you usually want to tick that off because it usually gives you pretty bad audio.
Yeah, I don't even see that on the app.
Yeah, what I had to do is in my sys tray, you have a little Zoom.
Chromebook.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how Chrome would do that. Do you have a sys tray with the little Zoom icon? Zoom can be a little funny too. Also, using the built-in audio on a laptop, or do you have like an external microphone you're using?
No, it's just the stock mic on my Chromebook. The sound I do have thrown through Bluetooth over to a speaker.
Okay, well, that's fine. I was just, if you did have like a laptop with a mic or a webcam with a mic, and then you're also using, like in my case, something like a Blue Yeti or something, you sometimes Zoom will pick the wrong audio input. You know, it'll be using your webcam microphone, even though you've got something much nicer available. So sometimes you have to play around in the audio settings in Zoom for that.
Yeah, it may just be a matter of me keeping on the mute button to and mute off when I'm not talking.
Yeah, I don't think it seems more than that. You know what? The video stutters a little bit. It could be actually just a connection issue. It probably isn't Zoom. Now that I'm looking at the video, it's not horrible though. You know, it's just, you know, you can tell something's a little off, but we can hear you, we can understand you. All right. Yeah, Mugen mentions there's 89 people watching. Thumbs up, guys. If you're actually enjoying this. Again, this was that kind of impromptu. I threw this together. Really, I just wanted to see how Zoom works. Could we actually do a stream with Zoom video chat? Matter of fact, if 89 of you guys are watching, if you guys want to hop on here with me and Gray, just click the link in the show's description, that Zoom link. You may have to install Zoom. It's a very easy install on Windows, Linux, apparently Chromebooks. I'm sure it works on a Mac. And you guys can be on camera here with me and Gray. If you got anything you want to chat about, or even if you don't have anything to chat about, you can just sit here and, you know, be silent if you want to. That's fine too. Again, it just helps me out. I just want to see how things look in this layout here on OBS. It's mainly just a test stream. So one thing I do want to mention.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would like to see the big group. So there's a few people I get on live streams with on YouTube, and they use Google Hangouts. But this could be on all.
Yeah.
So you could test it.
Yeah, your audio's now gotten pretty bad. That was pretty jumbled. So I'm not sure. It could be a connection issue there. I'm actually checking out the stream health here, making sure it's not YouTube that's buffering here. Stream health looks good though here on my end from what.
No, it very well could be me. I'm trying to shut down everything I got connected to my internet. I don't think there's a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah, it could be some, or if you got somebody else on your network. I know that sometimes that just ruins some of my streams. If I've got other people here at the house that all of a sudden jump on the network and they're doing something crazy like, you know, gaming and talking on Discord or whatever, yeah, the stream health just goes.
No, it's just me that's on my network now, but I do got a few things running. I've got a Pi hole running and stuff like that, so that might be slowing it down
And
to a relay.
and one thing I figured out, you know, since doing this channel is the things that really affect like live streaming and your internet speeds. If you're doing any kind of updates of your system, any kind of package management stuff, it just sucks up all the bandwidth. I mean, just like don't do a if you're running Debian, for example, don't do a sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrade, and then hop on a live stream and think it's going to go well. Ask me how I know. I've done some live streams trying to update VMs, and just the video quality and audio quality was just so bad because the stream was struggling.
I've seen one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had some.
Giving a good example to everyone. Don't do this. This is what happens. That
Yeah.
was planned out.
Well, I've had a few live streams that didn't go planned, and the way they. Matter of fact, most of my live streams never go the way they're planned. Because I usually don't do any kind of prep work or anything. I just say, you know what, I'm going to sit down and live stream something, and I just pick something. Whatever happens, happens. There was that one live stream, it's been 4 or 5 months ago now, where I did a fresh install of Antics on my main production machine. And you know what, I decided I didn't want to do Debian stable. I want to do Debian unstable with Antics. So I changed all the repos to SID and did a 1200 package update. And then right after that, I decided to hit the start streaming button for my new Antics installation. Bad idea. The computer locked up shortly after I hit the start streaming button. Locked up meaning the mouse didn't work, keyboard didn't work. I couldn't do anything. The only thing I could do was power off the machine. But I'm already streaming. So I just sat there and talked. Luckily, the chat window was on the screen so you guys could see me and see the chat that everybody was typing. But other than that, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't respond to the chat. I couldn't scroll back up to the chat to read the chat. At the end of the stream, to kill the stream, I actually had to drop down into a TTY prompt and kill the machine. That was one of the stranger live streams I've done. Well, the other one, I did kill Pulse Audio on camera during a live stream once, because I was wondering what was taking up so much CPU on my system, and I noticed Pulse Audio was pretty high in H-top, so I decided to kill that process while I was streaming. That wasn't a good idea either. So. Alright. Let's see, what are you guys in the chat currently running as far as your distro of choice? Obviously, Gray has mentioned he's on Crunchbang++. You guys know I'm running Manjaro on my main machine. I'm running Solus on my laptop. Would be curious what everybody else is taking a look at. If I just quickly, I'm going to change the view here for a second. If I go to distrowatch.com and look, you know, of course Manjaro is now #1 on their page hit rankings for whatever that's worth. You got Mint, Ubuntu, Debian, Elementary, Solus, MX, Fedora, Antergos, and OpenSUSE in the top 10. I will be honest, I have never run Mint or Elementary. Never installed them on physical hardware, and never really gave them a serious look. And they are 2 of the most popular distros on DistroWatch. That might be something I need to do. They're not the kind of distros or the kind of desktop environments I would normally run, but I might, maybe when Mint does their new release very soon, should be any day now, maybe I put Mint Cinnamon on my main production machine and try to live in it for a month or 2. Or put Elementary when it comes out on my main production machine, the new Elementary Juno. See how I get along with Pantheon. I suspect I won't like Pantheon that much though, because it's not very configurable. You can't really customize it. It's basically you're presented with a desktop, and what you're presented is basically what you get. So we've got Kevin on Arco Linux. Ronald is running Arch and Debian. Yeah. PC Mist is on Fedora. Sciotech is on Antergos. Mint for Tutorius. Void Linux. Ubuntu Budgie for Katrina. Neil's running Void and Arch. Robert, Bunsen Labs, very cool. Love that distro. Simone mentions his Manjaro installation crashes in VirtualBox. You know, I've installed Manjaro several times in VirtualBox, and it's always run well, actually, in VirtualBox. Might be a VirtualBox setting. Maybe something is ticked on that shouldn't be, or ticked off that should be. But Manjaro, especially the standard editions of Manjaro, the XFCE edition and the KDE edition, they just work. Even in a VM, they should just work. Let's see, yeah. Ubuntu for Mrs. Neely Pops. Very cool, Neil. Alright. Got someone else joining here. Undefined. Now, what is interesting, you guys that have never used Zoom, sometimes it can take a minute to actually join, because right now Undefined is probably figuring out how to get his webcam working. Might also be having to figure out how to get the audio working, because obviously the webcam is not up. That's why you got his username here. Usually the webcam situation is pretty straightforward. Audio can be a real pain, though. It's one of the jokes we make on the Big Daddy podcast every Saturday night is it seems like 50% of the people that join, the audio is not working as soon as they join. They start talking and you don't hear anything. Taking a look at the chat. DT, why didn't you use Skype instead? Is that a serious question? Please tell me that's not a serious question. Skype is a Microsoft product, for one thing, and Skype kind of sucks, is another thing. Skype on Linux, anyway. I would use Google Hangouts rather than Skype if I was going to do something like that. I've never had good luck with Skype on Linux. I mean, I know Microsoft makes a Skype client, but it's bad. And some of you guys are asking about Mumble. I've never tried Mumble. Should try it, though. Mumble, I believe, is open source. Isn't it free and open source software? Looks like Undefined dropped out here. Not sure what was going on there. I should try MSN Messenger. Oh, Silent Reboot is in the chat. How you doing, Silent? Isn't Zoom proprietary? Yes, Zoom is proprietary. But Zoom isn't made by Microsoft. And their software is actually pretty good. Again, Skype. Skype just isn't good. Not on Linux. I don't know how it is on Windows. I haven't run Windows in many years, but every time I've tried to install Skype and get it working, it's not been a good experience. Zoom, it's pretty straightforward. Gray, was this your first time ever installing Zoom and taking a look at Zoom? Oh, he's muted.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it until I seen the link from you.
Yeah, we still got some audio issues here.
Like I said, I'm on a Chromebook, so it gave me.
Okay. We got Countryfied Linux. Okay, no audio for Countryfied, so check your audio settings. Yeah, still no. And this is the problem with Zoom. Like I said, it seems like half the people that join you on a Zoom chat, the audio's not working out of the box. So make sure the input is to the correct mic. Make sure that mic is not muted. You might need to open up maybe like the Pulse Audio volume control and see what kind of settings are in that. Let's see if I can open up my audio settings to show you guys. Let's see if I pull up my settings. Alright, so this is your settings here in Zoom. You got General tab, which I never play around with. The only tabs I really play around with, the only thing I've ever had to fool with as far as settings, is audio. Make sure when you select your mic, you select the correct mic. Now, by default, it selects my webcam mic. My webcam mic sucks really bad, so I always choose the Yeti. And also, by default, it has automatically adjust microphone. Make sure to tick that off. Then you have your input levels. You do have a video tab here, where you can check out video. Anyway. And then make sure automatically join audio by computer when joining a meeting. You probably want to tick that on, so that as soon as you join, if you use Zoom in the future, you know, you just tell it, hey, go ahead and connect the audio as soon as I join a chat. That way you don't have this situation where you think you're going to have audio, you start talking, and people are like, hey man, your audio's not working. Really, this is the only complaint I have of Zoom is, you know, the audio usually is not working out of the box with it. And some of you guys are asking about Discord. No, Discord is not open source. But I thought about using Discord. I do have Discord. I have a Discord server that I sometimes check in on. And yes, you can do some audio chat and some video chat in Discord. I've just used Zoom, you know, a few times in the past because of the Big Daddy Linux podcast. I know kind of how it works, so I went with Zoom today. Okay, looks like Countryfied dropped out here. Yeah, getting the audio to work, like I said, can be tricky. Gray didn't have much of a problem because it sounds like there was probably only one input source for your audio. Probably only have one. Yeah. If you have multiple sources, it'll pick the wrong one most of the time.
And I did get in the settings, the few settings that it does give me on here. It gives me the default internal mic, or I could directly pick internal mic. I don't know if that's going to affect anything.
Yeah.
So, but it looks like from the screen you were showing, the app you're using has a lot more control than what the Chrome app.
Yeah. Well, and how I get to that screen is, all right, let me show you how I got to that screen. So, give me just a second. Well, I can't show you that on camera here, can I? Let's see.
I've been all over this app and in the Chrome settings of it. Yeah, got more control with
Yep. Yeah, we hear you.
Hello?
Yep. Your audio's working.
Coming?
Yep, you're good. That setting in Zoom is how I got to that window. Is I've got a notification tray, you know, in my panel here, and it's got the Zoom logo in it. I just click on that, and it has an option for settings, and it opens up that window. So, I'm not sure how it would work in your particular desktop environment, but if your panel and whatever desktop you're using has a notification area, you probably have a Zoom icon. All right, and we have someone new joining here. And how do I pronounce your name, sir?
Me.
Me?
Yeah,
you should.
sorry. Did you ask me?
Yes.
It's pronounced Göktuğ.
It's what?
Göktuğ.
Göktuğ.
Göktuğ. You can say Köfte. It's my nickname.
Okay. I'm just going to call you G.
That's okay.
G-Dog. There you go. Your rapper name.
I'm okay with that.
All right. And are you running Linux, sir? Or are you a Windows user or Mac user?
I'm running Linux.
Okay. What distro?
Currently Arch.
Arch, very cool. Yeah. I'm a big
My
Arch.
voice throughout. Because I'm usually not using my laptop's microphone.
Okay. So what kind of audio input are you using? You have an external mic, or are you using the built-in mic?
Monitor, I use this with my desktop.
Okay, I see. Yeah. And it looks like we have Theo trying to join us. Is he driving a car and joining the live stream? Dear God, please tell me. Okay, no, he's a passenger. Okay. Hi, Theo. Yeah, the audio's not working. Yeah. Yeah, Theo, make sure the in your settings the audio inputs on the correct device. We have Undefined also trying to join still. We'll get everybody's audio situated here in a minute, though. Also, your mic is muted, Theo. Make sure on the screen, the Zoom screen, you choose the unmute option. And when you guys get your audio straightened out, just start talking and we'll let you know if you're working or not.
By the way, how is my voice currently?
You're a little low now. You were a little loud before. Maybe split the difference.
Now?
Yep. It is a little distorted though. It sounds like you're really loud even though it's not that loud, if that makes sense. How it's a little over distorted.
I'm not really used to this laptop's microphone. Yeah. Sorry.
It's understandable. We knew this was going to be a work in progress today. So, again, I've never done a stream using Zoom, and I know most of the people that joined this today have probably never used Zoom, so we knew it was going to be a struggle. Yeah, well, that's why. Yeah. In the show's description, I mentioned that this was going to be more of a test stream anyway, so I wanted to warn people this wasn't exactly going to be a professional product we put out today. Looks like Gray has left his chair. I want to mention, too, you guys that are not used to Zoom, you can actually choose stop video on the screen. And you're still connected to the chat and everything here, but it will do that. so yeah, and I can just get back to it. So if you need to kill the video for any reason, you want to do something and you don't want it to be on camera, just stop video. You're still there. You can hear the chat. You can even still speak if you don't mute the microphone. And then, of course, to mute the microphone, you just click mute. And now you can't hear me. Now you can hear me. So.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My connection,
Oh. Yeah, the audio is we can hear you, but the audio is really, really bad. To the point we can't understand what's going on. They're undefined. I'm not sure what the issue might be. How you doing, Zeb?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Oh yeah, you're good. But you're a pro with Zoom.
Yeah, it is the single biggest problem as you've discovered, trying to get people to set up their microphones.
Oh yeah.
Set them up so that they're not too loud and all sorts of stuff.
I knew it was going to be bad even before I started the stream, but I was just going to go with it anyway. So.
Oh hell yeah, it's good fun and it's a good learning curve for everybody out there. But I keep noticing people asking why you're using Zoom.
Yep.
It's because it's a test.
Yep. Exactly. I never do any kind of video chat on my streams because just the uncertainty. You never know who's going to join or any. I don't want to play around with that for the most part. But I thought, you know what, I'll try it out. And I had some different options. I could try Zoom. I could try Skype. I could try Hangouts. I could try Discord. And you know what? I've tried all those before, not on a stream, but Zoom works for the most part, other than obviously audio. But once you get your audio straightened out, the video quality is good. Yeah, you're good, Country Five.
Yeah, I noticed the blinking mute button on my mic. I was like, oh, I forgot to press that.
Oh yeah. That was going to be my next suggestion. Actually, was make sure the mic was unmuted if you're using an external mic. I have done that before too. I start streaming and I've got my mic muted, and people are like, "We can't hear you, dog."
Is my audio working?
You are good now, sir.
But my webcam is dead, so.
Yeah.
Should I stay or should I go?
No, you're fine. We don't have to see you. I mean, we can hear you. You're welcome to stay in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
Has your webcam been working, or is it just a Zoom problem?
I think it's just too old. It
Yeah.
doesn't want to work properly.
Yeah, that's fine. I mentioned this is a video chat. Of course, you don't have to be on screen. You can always hide yourself from the video. So. And you're welcome to chat along with us. Zeb, what are you running these days? Although I'm pretty sure I know, but the rest of the chat may not know.
Well, no, at the moment I'm on Arco Linux, just giving it a quick once and a run round. But you know me, I've got about 12 partitions that I can run various distributions on. My main one, as you know, is Peppermint.
No.
But I mean, I'm also having a lot of love at the moment for Kubuntu. Kubuntu
Really?
1804 is really, really solid.
I wouldn't have picked you for a Kubuntu fan, actually, because of your love for things like Peppermint, and even now you're talking about Arco. I'm assuming you're not running KDE on Arco. You're probably running XFCE or...
Yeah, no, I am an XFCE man,
Yeah.
and MX17 runs XFCE. It's my go-to desktop because it's what I know best.
Yeah.
But I've got the equipment to run KDE, so I thought I'd give it a whirl, and it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Has Kubuntu, you're probably using the backports. Have they moved to KDE 5.13 yet? Or are
No,
they
that's
still on
one of the
12?
things that I added the backports today. It did 159 updates, but it's still stuck on 5.12 and a half.
Okay.
So I think I read somewhere that it's going to be at least another 5 to 10 days before they pull it into the backports. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is.
Well, that's why, things like Arch. Oh, dang. You guys can still hear me? What is going on with the meeting here?
No, that was right. That was just Gray accidentally sharing his whole
Screen. Okay. I was wondering because
Sorry
the
about
monitor... Because the monitor that I have Zoom open, it's on a separate monitor from with OBS and everything. So I know I didn't hit anything. I was getting kind of worried.
And just so that anybody who's on the Zoom chat, so if you've got your browser window open, can you mute it? Because we're getting feedback.
Yes. Yeah. Because you can hear the audio within Zoom. You don't need to hear the audio inside YouTube either. So kill the audio in YouTube. Just mute that. Yeah, much better.
Alex Stones, I'd like to know how most people here don't have hair.
We have gotten that. I mentioned it's about 3 or 4 months ago. I think we were doing either the Big Daddy show or maybe it was one night I would join TOS, Total OS Today, and there was 6 or 8 of us chatting. And somebody in the comments goes, "Why is everybody here old and bald?" and I looked at the chat window, and they were right. I mean, all of us. I think Colin was there. Of course, Toss is balding a little bit, and it's like, yeah, you're right. Joe Panico was there.
I've been on vacation for about 8 days now, so the hair is a little long, beard is a little bit shaggy. So,
and I can grow hair. It's just I haven't paid for a haircut since 2003 because I'm cheap. This is the longest actually I've gone without shaving in a while. I've gone 3 or 4 days here. That's why I've got a little hair right now. But normally,
I have a similar situation also.
Yeah. When I was in college, I was going to school in this small town. There was one barber. He charged like $17 for a haircut.
Wow.
And, having to pay that every 3 weeks as a broke college student, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut my own hair. So I got some clippers and, and then eventually that led to just cutting my own hair was kind of a hassle. I'm just going to shave. Just shave my head.
The shortest I go is every now and again I get the hump with having to style it, so I just go to number 4 and just shave it all off myself.
Yeah.
And then you have to go through the hedgehog stage to get long hair again. So yeah, I normally end up staying on number 4.
And then when you shave it completely off, if you start growing it back out, like I'm almost to the point. If I go another few days, yeah, it's kind of that weird stage where you kind of have hair, but you don't really have hair. So your skin starts breaking out because now all of a sudden you're not used to having all this hair. It's a little oily on the skin, and next thing you know, you have pimples. And,
So one question I was always wanted to ask is: does your head itch like a beard itches if you don't, if you shave it all the way off and let it grow out again?
Yeah, if I let it grow out, because it will itch a little bit. Yeah,
it itches like that's the one.
When it's in that kind of weird stage I was mentioning. Now, once it's long and it's no longer like prickly like a porcupine. But that's the only reason I do that is because I'm cheap. I've mentioned that before. That as far as like computer hardware and just life in general. I'm really cheap. If I can save $1 here or there, that's the way I go. Countryfied, what are you running, sir?
Oh, you're gonna laugh at me.
Windows? I won't laugh.
Recently installed Windows 10 makes video production easier.
Yeah.
That and a couple other reasons. There's the display scaling's done better, and also it's nice having the newer application versions without dependency issues and stuff.
No, we're not going to laugh at you for running Windows. I actually expected a few Windows users here today.
Yeah.
Mainly because for some applications you have to run, depending on what you do as far as a job or just life in general. They just work better in Windows.
That and also wirelessly, like streaming whatever's on my screen to my TV.
Yeah.
And on my smart TV, that's kind of convenient too. So.
Okay.
I run Windows on the laptop only because it's like almost brand new and I don't want to hose it yet.
Yeah.
And it's got some weird Intel configuration that I can't dual boot it with Linux. I've got to hose Windows, put it back on as ordinary UEFI, and then put Linux on it.
And we got someone new in the chat. Is it Gibran?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, and your audio is working. Very good.
Nice. I'm using Windows. That's maybe why.
Yeah, it could be. Pulse audio does not exist in Windows. So we got 2 Windows users, or at least 2 people that are using Windows right now.
But if this is any better, I'm not a Windows. I'm more of a Linux enthusiast than a Windows enthusiast. Windows is more practical. Yeah.
Well, there's some things you just have to have Windows for. Like, I've mentioned I'm not a gamer. I don't game really hardly at all. But if you are a serious gamer, you kind of have to run Windows.
Console gamer.
Yeah. Yeah, but you get so much better performance on a real PC than on a console. But
yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Hey, if that was an Xbox controller, that's Microsoft. Might as well be using Windows.
Yeah. If you're going to use the Xbox, you might as well run a Windows PC. Of course, the real gamer here is Zib. He knows everything there is to know about gaming on both Windows and Linux.
Yeah, no, I wish. I think that's probably the last person you want to ask about gaming.
I have 2 games, Agents of Mayhem and Gears 4.
Gears of War, very cool. Yeah.
Well, on my console, all I do is I just do driving games. It's Gran Turismo on the PS4 and Forza on the Xbox. And that's really the only 2 games that's the only reason I bought both consoles, to play those driving games.
No.
I've been playing Gran Turismo since it came out in about 1999 or whenever it was. But I just can't complete them anymore. Ever since they introduced the Nürburgring, which is like 14 minutes a lap and 135 corners. How the hell can you possibly remember every single curve and bend and to get a fast time? It's ridiculous. So
yeah, and the gamings I do, you guys have seen some of the gaming I do on my live streams. It's usually first-person shooters. The reason I can play those is because if I don't have much time, I can join a first-person shooter. I can join Counter-Strike or something like that. I can get in a game and frag as many people as I can in 10 minutes and get the hell out. And and I don't want to spend weeks trying to beat a game like these role-playing games, these massive multiplayer online games that people get wrapped up in for months at a time. I can't even begin something like that. So
Yeah, I mainly stick with shooters myself.
My problem with the shooter games is I join them, stick my head around the side of a container to see who's there. Boom, headshot,
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Or I then go running out, leaping up and down like a lunatic, trying to get shots off and missing everybody. Boom, dead.
Oh yeah. You got to figure out how to set the mouse sensitivity. Sometimes that thing is set so sensitive that you can't really aim at all. So you have to play around with that. And then the people that play the game all the time, they know the maps. They know the good hiding spots, every nook and cranny of the map. You're walking around just, oh, look at this. There's a building. Here's a container. Boom, you're dead.
That's me.
I think
I can complete most games on
this I
normal.
play is the reason I still have Windows on my desktop.
Yeah, you kind of have to. I mean, especially like with the really high-end video cards. Like, you don't buy an NVIDIA Titan and then, game on Linux. You're probably going to get the best performance on Windows. So, if you're going to get that kind of cash on,
Well, I
hardware.
consider it a gaming PC, but I don't really buy enough games to really justify building a gaming PC.
Yeah.
I have 2 games. Another one this year or next year. I don't know. Maybe the year after.
One of the biggest requests I get on my channel is, hey, will you do anything with Wine? Show me how to set up Wine so I can play my games in Wine or do. No, I won't, because that's not even an option. Just don't even look at Wine. Wine is complete and total garbage.
I
You
drank
have
it
to-
once. I didn't like it.
Yeah. If you have to run a Windows-only program, guess what? You need to run Windows. You need to dual boot Windows, or you need to run a VM with Windows. Wine, you're never going to be satisfied with Wine. So just don't even look at it.
Yeah, I got a PlayStation 4. I use it more for watching YouTube videos through. I mean, I only own one game, Grand Theft Auto 5, and I just get on there and play with my kids across the country. Other than that, I don't really do a whole lot of gaming.
No. Now, console gaming can be fun, like parties at the house, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that too. Grand Theft
Especially
Auto is great for that.
Yeah. You're getting together for whatever, Christmas or Thanksgiving. The kids want to play something. That's great. And then you can do those racing games with them or whatever.
Yeah.
You got a request in chat from someone to become a moderator.
Oh, who needs to be a
Sir?
mod?
Surge.
Yeah, we'll put him on there. He probably wants to drop a link for something.
Something happened to my video.
Yeah, you dropped out for a minute. Yeah, so Sergey, you are now a mod.
Drop a link for something.
Something happened to my video.
Okay, mute the YouTube audio. You won't need to hear the YouTube audio. You'll hear it through Zoom.
Oh crap. Right.
Well, someone's mic's working.
For video chat, I actually prefer appear.in/whatever you want your thing to be if it's available.
So can you hear me again?
Then you just go to the link.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure mine was working.
I just joined you quickly, Derek, just to show people that it can work and it does work well. So,
Well, thank you, Zip.
now because I'm up at 3 a.m. for Big Daddy.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I might check it out too this evening.
Cool. All right, then.
I'll
Well, thanks. Hope you have some fun and keep sorting them out, because the more people can use this, the more people can be chatting about Linux, the more people will get converted about Linux.
Very good, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Catch you later.
All right.
Take care,
Have a good
Zeb.
one.
Or like appear.in, it's browser based, so anybody can go to that.
Yeah, Peers, browser base, yeah.
No, I downloaded gchar.zz.
The problem with Hangouts is, it's browser based too, but the problem with Hangouts is it doesn't work on every browser. That's why I don't like Hangouts.
True.
If you're running Google Chrome, it works great. But what if I'm running Firefox? Well, now you need to go download Chrome, basically just to use Hangouts.
Yeah, appear.in has issues with certain browsers too, I noticed.
Yeah, it'll only work on certain browsers that use whatever engine it was designed to run on. So that's going to be the problem with a lot of the browser-based stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I've gotten good results with Wire, and they've got an app and browser based. I haven't done it for any group chats as large as this, but Wire seemed to do pretty well for 3 people.
We got PC Mist. Your audio working? I guess not.
Yeah,
Still trying to.
Just checking mine.
Okay, we can hear you.
You can hear me, yeah?
Yep. Yeah,
Alright.
your audio is working.
Yeah, I do. How is everybody?
I'm doing well.
Your audio is working.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Well, I've just managed to mute somehow.
Yeah, Sergey in the chats mentioned Framatalk, Jitsi. I've never heard of hubl.in or appear.in.
Oh, what happened here?
There are a few different video chat programs we could use here in Linux. Some of them free and open source, a lot of them proprietary. Like I said, I went with Zoom today is because I've used Zoom a lot in the past. I know it works, so I've always liked how it works better than Hangouts. So.
Do you hear me?
Oh, that
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, cool.
And we don't see you. You have a webcam or no?
I'm trying to configure it.
Okay.
Well, I got my webcam. Don't know if I got any audio.
Yeah. Usually video just works. Usually Zoom just connects to your webcam, no problem. Usually you don't have to fool with that. It's the audio that's...
Yeah. Usually the way.
We got Donkey in the chat room. I think that's how you say it, Donkey.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Zoom chat filled with old men.
Yep. Well, this is your typical Linux chat room, though. I mean, to be honest, every time I do this on any channel, like, yeah. And when Toss does his live chats on his channel, it's always an older crowd. The Big Daddy podcast every Saturday night, it's an older crowd. But you know what? We're out there promoting Linux. We're trying to convert a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids, though, out there. I mean, even like YouTubers. People like Pizza Loving Nerd. You guys see that guy in the chat sometimes? He's only like 13 years old, 13, 14 years old. And he's got his own YouTube channel talking about Linux. You know, he chats in a lot of the Linux live streams that I and other people do. So there's kids out there.
Yeah.
Now we even have a puppy.
Yep.
Oh, puppy cam.
This is the kind of shameless stuff we do for views. We put puppies and
Yeah,
cats and stuff on. It's like Tom over at Switch for Linux. Switch to Linux. He loves to put his cat on camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being lazy right now.
Yeah.
Seems like. See.
Okay, we got some noise going on somebody's camera. So a lot of background noise. Yeah, it might be you.
Oh, crap.
I like it.
I should do my new choice. Hold on. Right, I've turned down my,
Here's Sudo.
turned down my
More dogs, huh?
Her name's Susu.
Susu. Okay.
Sudo.
Very cool.
That's the dog's name.
Yeah, Sudo. She gets called Susu a lot, but yeah, it's Sudo.
Only animal cats.
Yep. And I do have a cat here. I never put him on camera. I have a black cat. Just your normal black cat. Kind of a big cat. He hangs out outside most of the time. I don't like to let him in while I'm streaming because he jumps on the desk and everything, and you know, I'm the opposite of Tom. You know, I don't want to see the cat on my desk. Tom over at Switch to Linux, and one of the things that gets him a lot of views. At the end of his streams, he loves to feed that really fat cat of his. You know, he starts feeding it treats. And if you watch the people watching his streams, it starts spiking up. And then the chat goes crazy. Feed the kitty, feed the kitty. That is a pretty dog, though, Gray. That is a beautiful dog.
I think y'all seen my dog if y'all seen my intro video before.
Yeah. And Red Robbo is here. How you doing, Rob? May not be able to hear yet. I know Rob has used Zoom, though. I've seen him over on the Big Daddy podcast once or twice, so.
I'm just keeping an eye on the FTP uploads that are happening.
Yeah, the internet loves cats, Ben in the chat says.
We really do.
I'm rather quiet.
This is a kind of random crazy.
Yeah.
One of Matt Hartley's recent videos, I saw what looked to be a ghost in the background. I made like a little short video showing where I saw it at. In the description, exactly where it's at.
Yeah. It's not that crazy. I've seen some stuff weird on camera, not on my YouTube channel, but I've caught some stuff that seemed kind of hard to explain sometimes. Like things falling, boxes moving, that kind of thing, you know, at houses I've lived in. You know, it just seems strange, you know, things that shouldn't happen, that happen. Yeah. And sometimes you catch some of that stuff on camera and you're like, okay, what really caused that? Who knows? You know, sort of plane going by that made something vibrate and fall off the shelf. But when you're watching a video, you know, a replay of something, and like you have a picture frame on a mantle, and you just see it fly off the mantle and fall. You know, what really caused
gravity.
It? Yeah, yeah, but something had to push it off. But I'm not one of these paranormalists. You know, I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting. And
yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's things, that are difficult to explain. They can be explained. It's just you don't have enough information most of the time to explain exactly, you know, what happened.
If it's not explained by now, it's not going to. Why bother?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting to see some things, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not into ghosts and spirits and stuff.
Those shows are boring, those ghost hunter shows.
Now, aliens and UFOs, you know, seeing some strange stuff in the night sky, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that's probably government aircraft.
So.
And
Oh, and those Finding Bigfoot shows. Why do people watch the first episode? Might as well just watch the final episode, last few minutes.
Yeah.
That's when they'll find them, is the final episode, if they do.
Yeah, those Finding Bigfoot and Yeti and all that stuff. I mean, these are big animals. You guys that hunt a lot, you're out in the woods a lot. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there that you don't know. You know, there's no population of Sasquatch out there, and nobody's ever really got hard evidence of it.
Yeah, if there was, I would love to see it.
Yeah, right. I mean, you would find dead bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, even big animals. I mean, if you've ever hunted enough, you've come across dead deer that have died from some cause other than your own, you know, or you know, the body of a dead bear or something.
Yeah, and for a population to continue to exist, there has to be a certain number of them. If there's not, then they won't be around.
Right. The fact that, you know, no remains of this animal's ever been stumbled upon. I mean, what are they doing? Burying their dead?
Burying themselves. They bury themselves and they die.
Mm-hmm. Rob, how you doing?
I'm well, Derek. Is the sound working?
Yeah, your audio is working.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
DT.
Of course, Rob, you've used Zoom, so
time. There's a time clock ticking down.
What do you mean?
In the middle of the screen, it says remaining meeting time, 1 minute 37. It's ticking down. Do they only give you like a half hour free on?
You know what? They may. Yeah, they may.
Notice that.
Yeah, because they do offer a pro edition that you have to upgrade to, and I didn't sign up for that, so it may have a time limit. And how much time does it say we have?
Just 1 minute and 12 seconds.
1 minute and 12 seconds. Well, we might have to go ahead and kill the stream here then. Well, that's fun. But we've been streaming about an hour and 10 minutes here. Again, this was mainly a test stream. I just wanted to test out Zoom. Maybe I'll buy the pro version of Zoom for next time. But I do want to thank you guys. Gray, and I know you've been here from the beginning. You really helped me out seeing, all this, how it looked in OBS, Undefined, Countrified, PC, Steve, G-Dog, and Rob. Yeah. All right.
By the way, I believe my podcast name would be fits here really good.
Very
it's
cool.
It's a pun between kernel and bolts.
Yeah.
A Turkish pun.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream before it kills itself, because in another few seconds it's going to just kill it anyway. So before I go, let me give a shout out to all my patrons. So David, Carlos, Nick, Daniel, Brian, Leor, A.K. Ron, Keith, Nick, Michael, Tony, Bruno, David, Mike, Silvio, Omar, Mark, Mr. Neely Pops, John, Carl, Greg, Rob, Matt, Christian, Tiedemann, Stephen Z, Eduardo, Alex, Jake, Benjamin, Stephen B, Marcus, Interceptor, Tubella, Humade, and Paul. You guys rock. You guys help make this show possible. Peace, guys.